What's up YouTube, I'm NoeW and these are the best shoes coming out in the fall 22 season. Now before we get started, this list includes some of the shoes that I think are the best coming out. So some shoes that you might heard of or you might like might not make the list, or some shoes might not make the list because I just was too lazy to add them, because it was a good amount of shoes on this list, but there are some shoes that I still didn't add that I feel are good but I just didn't feel like adding. So now starting on September 17th, you do have the Jordan 1 High Heirloom releasing for a retail of $170. Now this shoe consists of a yellow leather consisted through the whole upper and the overlay, and for the underlay this shoe does offer a black dimming along the toe box, the middle panel, and along the top portion of the shoe. And for the midsole you do have a white midsole, and for the outsole you do have that yellow color as well. Now although the Jordan 1 hype has died down, I do like this approach that they did use for Jordan and using the black denim on the middle panel and the toe box. I do like that they did go for a different approach for this Jordan 1, and they do have some more Jordan 1s releasing by the end of this year, so make sure you do stay on the lookout for more Jordan 1s releasing during this fall and winter season as well. And if you see me looking down, it's because I have the shoes up on the computer, just so I make sure I'm hitting on all the details of the shoe, or most of the details on the shoe. Also releasing on September 17th for a retail of $180, you do have the New Balance 2002 R Gore-Tex in this light gray colorway. Now most of the shoe consists of a light gray suede along the whole upper and the overlay of the shoe, and the gray suede along with some other elements of the shoe will feature just the stretch look along the whole shoe, and you do have it in that blue color along the underlay in that leather material, and of course you have that mesh material along the toe box and the upper portion of the shoe. Now this shoe is a Gore-Tex material or a Gore-Tex shoe, so the shoe will be waterproof as well, so make sure you remember that if you do go for these. And along with that, on the bottom portion the midsole does come in a grayish color as well, and the outsole does come in this black color, but I think it's also a distressed look that they did go for the outsole, because it's not like a solid black, it's like I guess a distressed look, you could say. That's how I would call it. So I don't know how else to describe it, but it does have like a white grayish hue, or not a hue but contrast in the outsole as well, but you'll see it in the b-roll or whatever. So coming out on September 22, you do have the New Balance 990 V3 Cream Olive. Now of course along the upper you do have the mesh, the suede that makes up most of the upper. You do have that olive green color that consists of most of the suede along the upper, and then you have that grayish color mesh along the underlay, and then you do have your hits of blue suede along the upper as well. For the laces you do get some white laces, and you have that gray branding as far as the tongue, the classic gray tongue that you do get on the New Balance, and you have the blue branding on the end logo as well. And then for the heel you do have that creamish color heavy suede or thick suede, hairy suede along the heel portion of the shoe, and then for the midsole you do have that white, gray, and tan color for the midsole and a black outsole. And these are definitely a shoe that I would go after, even though I'm not, but this shoe is definitely hard. I like the way these came out. I like all the colors, that olive green, that blue, that cream color they use on the heel portion. These are definitely a shoe to go after. I do enjoy these a lot. So yeah, retail of $200 on September 22nd, so be on the lookout for those as well. Let me know how you feel about these and the whole 990 V3s. I think the 990 V3s are the best variation of the 990s, so the fact that they keep making 990s in different colorways is definitely a plus in my opinion. Unless we're gonna go after some 990s eventually, but right now I'm just keep them on the wish list for right now. So on September 24th you do have the Jordan 1 High Taxi, and that Taxi colorway do have that black and white colorway throughout the whole upper with a white midsole, and this color blocking is sort of similar to Jordan's ones that we've seen before, especially like the shattered backboard. So just that same color blocking as far as that shattered backboard, but instead of orange you do have the yellow hits along the whole shoe. If I didn't say, the retail for these will be $170 as well. On September 27th you do have the Jordan 1 Low OG in that UNC colorway for a retail of $130, and the shoe consists of a white underlay and a black overlay along the toe box and side panel of the shoe, and then on the back here we do have that UNC colorway along with the outsole being in that UNC colorway as well, and you have a black swoosh along the shoe as well. On September 29th, one of my favorite shoes on this whole list, you do have the Tom Sachs and Nike Craft General Purpose shoe releasing for a retail of $110. Now this one is a restock. This one did release on September 2nd, but it is having a restock or a general release on sneakers. So like I said, September 29th for a retail of $110. You have that all over yellow upper with the contrast of a mesh and suede material, and you have that creamish color midsole with a brown outsole, and you do have that white Nike swoosh on the siding of the shoe, and you have the white lining on the inside and the tongue and laces. I think the laces will come with a white variation and a cream variation. But like I said, these come out on September 29th, so be on the lookout for those. These should be widely accessible compared to the original colorway. So make sure you're top of your game when these come out to have the best chance to get these. I do love this version of the Tom Sachs and the Nike Craft General Purpose. I love the silhouette. I love the idea behind this shoe to make it boring or simple, but I love how it turned out, how simple it is, but how nice it looks. Between the choice of materials, the silhouette, the colors from the OG pair, this pair, and some more pairs that will be mentioned. But I am actually going to be going after this shoe because I had to get my hands on these. I had to. But yeah, September 29th for a retail of $110. Now October 1st, we do have a lot of shoes releasing on October 1st. You have a whole bunch, so make sure you pay attention to all the shoes that are releasing on October 1st. So starting off on October 1st, you do have the Jordan 1 Low UNC Gray and that split color blocking inspired by the UNC colorways on the Jordan 1 Highs. You do have that UNC colorway, that white and blue colorway on the toe box of the shoe, and for the back half, the back portion of the shoe, you do have that white and gray contrast with exposed sponge for the tongue, and you do have that aged midsole look, and then for the outsole you have that UNC blue along the whole midsole. Now these definitely should get a lot of hype. Everybody should be going after these just because of the color blocking, the Union inspired color blocking. You have that aged look along the midsole. You know, everybody loves that these days. So Jordan Brand definitely did good with these one. I do love these shoes as well. I won't be going after these ones, but everybody should be hype about these. You do have actually that a different material or texture along the Nike swoosh as well. But so October 1st for a retail of $110. So the next shoe for October 1st, you do have the Nike Dunk Low Reverse Panda releasing for a retail of $110. Now we all know what these look like probably by now because the Pandas, the regular Pandas, been going crazy over the internet, how accessible, how many restocks, how many people have been rocking this shoe. So they decided to release a reverse colorway. So instead of the overlay being black, you do have the overlay being white and the underlay being black, just the reverse obviously, and of course the midsole being in the reverse color. Everything is pretty much the opposite. So the reverse Pandas. So y'all know what these look like. Let me know if you think this version is better than the regular Pandas. I think I'll take the regular Pandas over the reverse. I do like the regular Pandas even though everybody's rocking them. I think it's one of the most easiest shoe to rock, kind of like the Air Force One, even though it's not on that level as far as like being timeless or being so consistently used throughout so many different eras of fashion. But I do think the Pandas are still better, but I like this version as well. So let me know which variation you like better. On October 1st, you do have the Nike Dunk Low Dark Driftwood colorway releasing for a retail of $110 as well. For this one, you do have that 2 shades of brown for the over and underlay. The overlay will have a darker brown while the underlay will have lighter brown, inspired by that driftwood colorway. And you have that black Nike branding and black Nike swoosh, and then you have the white midsole and the black outsole. So this is definitely one of those fall shoes, that fall inspired shoes, those earth tone colorways that everybody enjoys. So October 1st definitely a good date for these, right in fall, right in the beginning of fall. So definitely a good colorway in my opinion. So October 1st for retail of $110. These actually haven't, at least from what I've seen, these haven't received too much hype compared to how hyped these have been about over 20 years ago or about 20 years ago. But you do have the Concepts and Nike SB collab Orange Lobster for retail. Actually, the retail is actually not available right now. I haven't seen the official retail price yet, but you do have these coming out on October 1st as of right now, which does come in that all over orange upper. You do have that white outline on the white swoosh though. The overlay and underlay orange, those shades will be slightly different, so it's not just a solid orange throughout the whole upper. You have that black midsole and you have that orange outsole as well. And along the laces, you do have white laces, white tongue. You have the thick tongue since it is the SB, and then for the lining, you have that checkered material, like picnic table material, and that white and orange color. So these were released October 1st ever right now, but for retail, that's not available yet. So some more dunks on October 1st. You have the Nike Dunk Low in the beetroot colorway. You do have that beetroot color in the overlay of the upper. You have that dark black or black. It does look kind of like a shade of a dark burgundy, but you have essentially black for the underlay, white Nike swoosh, white midsole, white laces, a black tongue, and that beetroot color for the outsole and the lining as well. I do like the colors they use for this one, more of a darker vibe. Also, I feel like goes along with that fall time, that fall vibes for this one, but I do like this how this one turned out. So another dunk for retail 110, the beetroot colorway on October 1st. Now October 1st, you do have some more Tom Sachs and Nike Craft General Purpose shoes. This time you do have 3 different colors releasing on this. There are actually 4 different colorways. I believe. Yeah, do have 4 different colorways. The first one is a white, all over white with a black swoosh. Still using those suede and mesh materials, at least from my knowledge. That's what it looks like. The main difference on these, on 2 of them, you do have 2 white pairs, but on one you have a black swoosh with 2 red pull tabs, and on the other one you have the all over white and a red Nike swoosh and orange pull tabs. So those are the difference for 2 of them. And then you do have an all over gray and an all over brown. The all over gray will have a white Nike swoosh and orange pull tabs. You have an all over brown upper, and then you have like a dark brown or almost a black. Can't really tell so far from the pictures, but you have an all over brown variant, and then you have like a brown midsole, brown laces as well. So they were released on October 1st for a retail of $110. You have the restock for the yellow variant on September 29th, and then October 1st you have 4 different options as far as the color is releasing. All these should be more accessible to get, so make sure you stay on the lookout for those 2 days as well for all the different colorway options. So we have 2 more shoes for October 1st. We do have some more Nike Dunk Lows in the sail blue colorway. You do have that all over sail white colorway, and you have a blue Nike swoosh. You do have also the sail white colorways on the overlay and underlay, and they do have that blue Nike swoosh and a blue tongue and almost like a gum bottom and like almost like a creamish white midsole as well. And then for a little bit of inspiration for these, you do have for the Nike branding or logo on the back heel, you do have the logo or font inspired by the font used on a $, which I think pretty cool for this shoe. I like the way it turned out, how it blends nicely with this shoe and the Nike Dunk. So you do have that little bit of inspiration for these shoes as well. Now for the last shoe of October 1st that I'll be listing, there are way more shoes coming on October 1st. You do have the New Balance 2002 R releasing in that natural indigo colorway for a retail of $140. For this pair, you do have an all over white upper and the overlay. For the underlay, you have that mesh material and that blue suede, and then you have embroidered New Balance logo on the side. And then for the midsole, you do have that age look as far as the midsole and that cream, that vintage white or off-white colorway. And for the laces, you do have that white laces, white tongue, white lining, and then the outsole is in that black color. I do like this colorway. I almost went for these, but I'm not gonna go for these. I do like the look of these. I like the vintage vibe that they give off. So yeah, for a retail of $140, the 2002 R is releasing on October 1st. And this one is probably one of the most hyped shoes for the fall season, and that is the Jordan 4 Black Canvas. These been rumored to release for a while now. I think the release they have been pushed back a couple times, but finally on October 1st, or not October 1st, October 22nd, these will release for a retail of $210. It does come in that all over black canvas for the upper, and then the suede portion will be along the toe box, the bottom portion of the toe box, and you do have the gray and white midsole, and you do have that header red on the tongue portion of the Jordan Flight logo along the tongue, and then you can get black laces as well. Now although the shoe has been hyped for a while now, I really don't see the hype behind them. I mean, I get the hype, but in my opinion, I don't really care for this colorway. It's definitely a colorway that you can throw on with a lot of stuff, obviously being in black. Really nice color blocking, executed well, but as far as like the shoe itself, I really don't see the hype. For me personally. I really don't really care for them too much, but these will release on October 22nd for a retail of $210. These have been hyped, so if you do like these, make sure you remember those dates, those numbers. So October 22nd. Now more of the Jordan 4 do have that midnight navy colorway releasing for a retail of $110 on September 29th or October 29th. Do have that midnight colorways, which basically is just like the white cements that released years ago, but instead of the black hits along the shoe, and you have the navy blue hits along the half portion of the midsole as well and the outsole. So it's pretty much your black cement colorway, but instead of the black hits, you do have the navy blue hits. I do like this colorway too. Definitely solid, definitely simple. So I can see these doing just as well as the black canvas in my opinion. Released on November 5th for a retail of $225. You do have the Alma Manera Jordan 4. Now for this colorway, you do have that violet or red colorway along the whole upper. So the whole upper is in that violet colorway, and then for the back tab, the Nike or Jordan brand, you do have that Nike Air logo instead of the Jordan in that black colorway. And then for the midsole, you do have the aged midsole look in that creamish vintage white colorway. And then for the top portion of the midsole, you do have that black colorway, and then the bottom, the outsole does look like it will be in that violet colorway as well. But you do have these releasing on November 5th for a return of $225. I am curious to see how these will do in resale prices, not to like resell them, but to see how many people went after these, how much hype is behind this shoe, since it is an Alma Manera colorway, and Alma Manera has been doing good with Jordan brand so far. On November 12th, you do have the Jordan 7 Cardinal colorway, that OG classic colorway, and that Cardinal colorway for a retail of $210. Now we all know the Cardinal colorway by now, all over white leather for the upper, that black midsole with the white and red hits along the top portion of the midsole, and you have that red lining, the black Jordan logo on the tongue, and the yellow embroidered Jumpman on the top heel portion or ankle portion of the shoe. Now ending it off for the last couple of shoes, you have the Jordan 6 metallic chrome or metallic silver or black chrome. I have seen a few different names for this one. We do have that Jordan 6 releasing for a retail of $200 on November 19th. And this pair just consists of an all black nubuck along the upper and the midsole, the tongue, the laces, the lining, all that. And then you have that silver hits or chrome hits along the top portion of the midsole. And it does look like it will have a ice bottom. I haven't seen an ice bottom on shoes nearly as much as it used to be, but you do have that ice bottom for the outsole as well. So I think you do get those silver hits along the pull tab, the back portion of the shoe, and on the Jumpman along the laces as well. So you do have the Jordan 1 Chicago Lost and Found variation of the shoe. We all know the Chicago, how hype it's been since the off-white has been released, and even before that. So it is essentially the Jordan 1 colorway, but the whole shoe will feature just the stress look, which is a great idea to do, seeing as though that we all love the stress look nowadays as far as the streetwear fashion. So I think it's a great take, a great idea to just reimagine the Jordan 1 Chicago in a good way that people will all love and appreciate, while still having the same attention to detail or the same love in the regular colorway from the OG pairs. So you do have that releasing on November 19th for a retail of $180. So make sure you keep your eye out for those. It's probably going to be the biggest drop of the year, one of the biggest drops of the year, the Jordan 1 Chicago colorway. So make sure to be on the lookout for those. That will pretty much do for all the shoes that are releasing for this fall season. Let me know which ones you're going after, some of your favorite shoes coming out during this fall season. Let me know if I missed anything that you're going after this fall season that I didn't mention. So that will do for this video. I'm out.